Tell me you're a Chelsea fan without telling me you're a Chelsea fan. My heart cannot take this. It was a crazy night in Naples. We went there needing a straight win and we did the job. It was difficult, but we did the job and we got the win and qualified into the next stage of the Champions League. We beat Antonio Conte's Napoli 3-2 at their home. I think they haven't lost at home in over a year, and we beat them. The game started perfectly. We were dominating and we got an early penalty. Reece James free kick hit a Napoli's defender's hand, and then we got a penalty and Enzo Fernandez stepped up to score beautifully. The keeper picked the right spot and I think he had fingertips to it, but the shot was very powerful and we took the lead by 1-0. And after that, the tempo just reduced, the intensity reduced, and then we started to wobble. First, a very good strike from Vergara. I think Fofana should have done better there, but Vergara was able to beat Fofana and smash it to the net, and it equalized for Napoli. And then just before halftime, Højlund, remember Højlund from Man United, he made it 2-1. Again, Fofana, he was at the wrong side of Højlund. He should have been in front of him to block that cross from reaching him, but he was behind him and he couldn't do anything to stop that cross from going in. And Højlund made no mistake. So we went to the halftime break trailing by 2-1, and we knew this game was going to be difficult. We're wondering whether this team had what it takes to come back into this game and possibly win it. They came into the second half just a little bit like how they ended the first half. They didn't really do much since the tempo was reduced. Rosinho made some very good just before the second half started. He brought on Palmer, took off Neto. Neto wasn't really doing much in the first half. Neto should honestly stop starting for Chelsea. Rosinho should just put it in his head that don't be starting Neto every game. We don't need Neto to be starting every game. We just don't. And then one thing that I didn't understand in the beginning was he put Reece James at centre back. So he was pairing Fofana, but in the second half decided to switch it up. He moved James back to his right back position, and then he puts Chalobah on to be the pairing for Fofana, and that really solidified our defense. So when the second half started, you could see that Napoli were just sitting back. They were not pressing as much as they did get to the end of the first half. They were just sitting back. They were comfortable with the 2-1. I think their plan was to break on the counter and then try and score. Playing against an Italian team that sits back is very, very difficult, but we managed to break the deadlock from Joao Pedro. Just after the hour mark, out of nothing, he just takes one touch and then bang into the box. Very good shot from long distance into the net. We knew that Joao Pedro had that in his locker, and we've been always calling for him to take shots, take strikes, be more daring. And yes, I mean, last night he was just fantastic. He was superb. That shot was unbelievable to make it 2-2. Then with 8 minutes left on the clock, he linked up with Palmer, played a 1-2 with Palmer, ran into the box, and he had the option of passing to Garnacho or to drive in and play the shot, but he decided to drive in and play the shot because the part between him and Garnacho was blocked by a defender, and he hit a brilliant low shot to find the bottom left corner of the goal, and yeah, we made it 3-2. And I mean, since I was just ecstatic. I was just so happy that we were able to get over this hurdle. This win is massive. It's not just 3 points. It means that we finished in the top 8. I think we finished in the 6th position, and we skipped the nightmare playoffs that will happen in February, and we go straight into the round of 16. That's huge for momentum and gives Rosinia. That's very huge for momentum, and it gives Rosinia enough time to really train with these players and prepare for the round of 16, so we don't have to bother ourselves playing in any playoffs. I have to commend Joao Pedro. He was fantastic on the night. He was just unplayable on the night. Everything he touched, everything he did on the night was just fantastic. I didn't have even one fault of his on the night, and the 2 goals were just superb. When Palmer came on, the link up was very good. It's opened us up more. We were attacking more. When we scored our second goal, you could see Napoli gave up their plan of just sitting back and defending the 2-1, because now they had to also score, and they needed to score. They needed goals to score to have hopes of him playing in the playoffs. And yeah, and secondly, I also want to give props to Rosinia for seeing the mistake, for seeing the error in the selection that he made, putting James in the center back position, a position that he hasn't played in a very long time. For me, was a big mistake. And then starting with Neto, always a big mistake. Neto is really not in good form. Why does he continue to start with Neto? He didn't do anything in the first half. He was practically useless in the first half. So I'm happy that he also made that change as well. Yeah, the first half was messy, but we showed character, and that's what we've been crying out for. We've been crying out for this kind of performance, this kind of attitude from the players, and they showed it today. So we march on. No more European trips till March. What a shift put in by the boys. Who was your man of the match? For me and for many of you, definitely Joao Pedro. No question about that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, up the Chelsea.